Hi everybody, I'm Zilla Blitz and happy holidays. Do you have a friend or loved one that's a tabletop board wargamer and you are looking for the perfect stocking stuffer? Or maybe you just want to self-indulge and get yourself something. Well, if this is the case, this might be the perfect video for you. I have scoured our hobby for more than 15 of the best stocking stuffers to make any wargamer happy. Everything that you'll see in this video, by the way, is linked down below in the video description. If you do use some of those links to buy some of this stuff, thank you very much, as many of those links will help out the channel. Let's get started. Our leadoff hitter is something I've just learned about recently, and I absolutely love these things. Board Butlers. They come in a 6-pack and a 12-pack, but what do they do? Well, if you have a mounted game board, sometimes when you take those out of the box, they're all stiff and they don't lie flat. Or maybe you've got two mounted game boards and you want to put them together, but they keep sliding around and they won't stay together. That's where Board Butlers come in. You take these things out, you can put them over the fold in a mounted map board and it will make the map lie flat. Or if you're trying to butt two map boards together, you can put them on either end and they'll just fit and keep the boards together perfectly. Now, one quick caveat, these things don't work with paper maps. These are only for mounted maps. Compact, and they come in this great little storage bag. They are the perfect solution for mounted map boards. So a lot of board war games have chits, basically counters that you put in a cup and you're kind of closing your eyes and you're picking one of them out of the cup as you're playing. And these sorts of soup bowls or rice bowls or little bowls that you have around the house are absolutely fine when you're playing the game at home. But they don't work very well and they're clumsy to bring around if you're taking a game on the road or going someplace else to play a game. Enter in collapsible camping cups. Now, these things have little covers. There's a bunch of different kinds, right? But these things have little covers and they just pop out and you pop them out like that and then boom, put the chits inside and you go there. They're really durable. They have a nice little cover here too, and they're flat enough that they fit inside most game boxes if you've got a little bit of extra space in there. The ones that I like, I've got a link down below to them. They come in this little travel bag. They're Take Today's. There's two of them into a pack. They work perfectly on the road, so you no longer have to carry around big, clumsy cups with you when you take your board games on the road. Our next stocking stuffer solves a board wargaming problem that happens a lot more than you think. A lot of board war games have these counters. They're called little markers in a game, and you're dropping them on units. Well, not like that, but you're putting them on units to mark a certain status on what's going on with that force. Case in point, the game in front of me here has shaken and disrupted markers that you're putting on a lot of different counters. Where am I going with this? Well, the problem is when you've got like 20 things on the counters, you look down at your map board, just like you would with this one, you can no longer tell which force is which, and you're constantly picking these little markers off to examine the counter underneath it. The solution? Bingo chips. Clear, transparent bingo chips that will take your board from this, I can't see what's going on, to what it looks like right here. You can see through them, you can see the values on the unit, and if you use different colors, you can tell which counter, which chip represents a different status. A simple, elegant solution. You can get a bazillion of these in a bag on Amazon, and they cost under 10 bucks. A great solution to a lot of games that just have a ton of markers that go on the units. Another player aid that's surprisingly helpful along the lines of the bingo chips that we just talked about are little plastic blocks. Yes, that's right. 8mm size is the best. I've got them linked down below. You can get a whole bag of these for under 10 bucks. These are color box that come with a bunch of different colors. Sometimes those are handy. It's good to have a couple of different kinds because you never know what kind of game you're going to be playing. You can also do the same thing with wooden blocks. 8mm again is the best. And what do you use these for? Well, similar to the bingo chips, sometimes you're trying to mark like a command radius in a war game, like how far the headquarters and what units can influence. So you want to drop these little markers, these little cubes in between the places where you're doing that. Or sometimes you've got a game that's just got very low stacking, like only one unit in a hex, and you just want to drop down something that says, yep, that unit moved, or that unit fired, that unit moved, that unit fired. Having these in a little cup, one of the collapsible cups if you're on the road, you can just put these down. It makes the administration of a game so much easier and so much more visually clear to play with. Little plastic cubes, reds, different colors, or a wooden set if you want. All super cheap, and they make playing board games and board war games so much easier. For the most part, I haven't included games in this stocking stuffers video because they don't really fit inside stockings and they tend to be a little bit pricey for a typical stocking stuffer type of gift. I have an exception though, Velikiye Luki from Legion Wargames. This is a very thin war game based on the World War II battle between the Soviet Union forces and the German forces on the East Front. It's got a small rule book, a map, and a set of counters. You can play it in under an hour, and it's a really good game. The best part about this, it fits inside a stocking. You can curl it up very carefully and put it inside a stocking, or maybe slide it at the top. I'm sure you can solve that problem. Another good thing about it, it's 20 bucks on regular price, and on their Black Friday sale, which is going on right now, as I'm making this, it's only 16 bucks. A war game, 16 bucks, and I think you can fit it inside a stocking too. It's a great one. Let's talk about line of sight. A lot of tactical board war games have what's called line of sight, which means you're trying to figure out if two units on a map can see each other. And the traditional way you solve this is you take a piece of thread or string and you stretch it between the center of where one unit's located and the center where the other one's, and then you see if that string intersects with like trees or hills or other things that might be in the way. A piece of string is super clumsy and inelegant though. We have two much better solutions for board wargamers. The first is a laser sight. That's right. This is a little red light that you can just hold up above two hexes and shine it down, and you can see whether anything gets in the way. It's a very elegant solution. I've had this one for about 3 years now, and the battery is still going strong. So this is one great solution. However, I've recently, and about 3 or 4 months ago, I found a solution that I like even better. This is a matter of personal preference, so I want to show both of these. Retractable name tag holders. These are so cheap. You can get two, like 3 or 4 of them for under 10 bucks on Amazon. Again, the links are down below. The nice thing about this is that it pulls out a nice strong line of string that you can then hold down right on the map over the center of two places and see if it crosses anything, and then just retract it and it goes like this. You can clip it on a shirt as you're playing a game. It's a perfect solution to the problem. Now, both of these solutions are very good. Which one do I like better? Well, again, it's a matter of personal preference. I like this one better because what I find with this one is the line that this laser pointer makes is a little bit too thick sometimes to really tell clearly whether it's really blocking the line of sight or going through it. So I find the nice thin string with these retractable name tag holders a better fit for me. So I'm almost exclusively using this now. Our next stocking stuffer isn't cheap, I admit it, but it's still the tool to use for what we do often in wargaming, which is clip counters. So most war games come with these little cardboard counters, and when you punch them out, they often have very sharp edges on the corners, and they get little dangly bits hanging off, and it's just ugly, right? It just doesn't look good when you're playing on a map. Enter in these Oregon counter clippers. Now there's a deluxe version and then there's a heavy duty version. I have one of both. I tend to use the deluxe version more because I'm faster with it, even though it tends to be a little bit less durable than the heavy duty version. This allows you to put the counter in the clipper and clip, 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 and you get nice rounded edge counters. Now again, with imports and the way this one's in, it's a small imported item. This is pretty pricey, but it will make someone who plays board war games in your life very happy if they don't have one of these already. Oregon counter clippers, the tool to clip counters and make them nice and beautiful and rounded. Next up is almost a must-have for a board war gamer. So if you're starting out in board war games, you might want to invest in these. A lot of people ask me this question. They say, what do you use for tweezers? So I'm going to mention 3 things, but one of them is no longer available. Nobody can find it. It's been out of stock for 2 years. And so good luck trying to find that one. So I'm going to just show and mention the 2 that you can get right now. First up are these big honking tweezers. They're metal. They can come in a 2-pack. They're really cheap on Amazon and they work great. Why do I like these over some smaller ones? Well, I use these quite a bit for games that have big counters. A lot of more modern war games are coming with larger and larger counters and larger hexes. It helps because it's better for people that have big stubby fingers and things like that. What this means is the nice thing about these tweezers is it opens up wide enough to get around these counters. So I just choke way up like this, pick up the counter, and there you go. Super easy for picking them up. These are angled ones, which sometimes can be nice if you got a lot of counters that are stuck in the middle of a board. The other one are these little blue ones and green ones that come in a bag. I think there's about 50 or so that come in a bag, incredibly cheap. These are pretty wide too, and these are much smaller. You can just throw them in the box when you're playing and stuff like that after you're done. Again, these work really well too, so I tend to use these too. But again, the best counter clippers, the ones that had the lighted elements and the grips on them, can't find those anymore. If they are available, I'll add them to the link down below. So I mentioned earlier that fitting wargames into a stocking is hard to do, but there is another set of exceptions. Worthington Publishing makes these travel wargames that come in these little boxes like this that will fit really nice inside a stocking. Now they're not super cheap, they're mid-range games. Sometimes they go on sale, so you might get lucky and find them on sale. These games are great. Most all of them are solitaire games. Playable by one person, you can play them in under half an hour. They have a bunch of different themes, like this one is Pacific War 1942. There's ones for the War of 1812. They keep making more of them. There's probably, I want to guess, about 10 of these altogether. Here's the ones that I would recommend and the ones that I like the most out of the ones that I've played so far. This one here, Pacific War 1942, is a great little solitaire game for the Pacific War in 1942 and World War II. French and Indian War. This one I feel like has got a nice balance of winnability. A couple of the other ones are, you're like, wow, this is almost impossible to win this game. French and Indian War I think is clever. It's got some interesting mechanics and it's a winnable game and it's very satisfying to play. So I really like this one. I think gameplay wise, this one might be my favorite. Theme wise, this one might be my favorite. Now, Shogun Solitaire is a different type of game. This is a card-based game. It's almost more of a war-themed game. The cards are beautiful, the theme is great, and the gameplay is really fun and challenging though. So this is another one that I recommend, Shogun Solitaire. One that I just got too, and the reason I want to mention this one is Take Cover. I just got this one about 3 days ago. The reason I want to mention this one is it's a two-player card game where you have dueling squads in World War II. Again, playable in under half an hour. Why I want to mention this one is if you like two-player games but want a stocking stuffer, this is the one that's two-player in this entire set. I think all the other ones are solitaire games. So there we have 4 games from Worthington Publishing. I'll link them down below if you want to check them out. Great stocking stuffers that fit right inside. So this is admittedly a little bit big for a stocking stuffer. It might have to go below the stocking. But wargamers are always looking for ways to store counters in their games. There are a lot of different storage solutions out there. I want to present the one that I use. Now, caveat, this company that makes these, Cube for Me, is a channel sponsor. But they are a channel sponsor because I like them the most of the storage tray solutions that I've used so far. And here's one actually right here. So this is a Cube for Me game, a Cube for Me storage tray holding this game, Gettysburg the First Day. They're flat. They're durable, they come with nice covers that just stay latched on. They allow you to maximize the amount of space inside the box to store your counters. And even better yet, if you're looking for a counter set for a particular game, if you go to their website, type in the game, chances are they have a custom set made for that exact game. So you get the right amount of trays, the right amount of card holders too for the cards, so you don't have to do any thinking. If you're not sure what to get, or you're getting this for somebody else, there's a universal 12-pack that has 12 of their trays that will cover about 5 or 6 different games. I'll put a link to that down below as well. Now they're having a Black Friday sale that goes until November 30th. The keyword is Black Cube. So check out their website to see if that's going on when you still get there. I absolutely love these trays. I think they're the best storage solution out there. I use them for all my games. Cube for Me storage trays. Speaking of storage, if you know a wargamer, chances are they have 1 or 2 or maybe like 50 magazine games. These would be magazines that come with counters and maybe a map and some rules and some handouts, and all this stuff comes together. The problem is that it comes in a magazine, maybe a little plastic bag. It doesn't come in a box. So these things, these are basically magazine storage counters. You can get a 4-pack of these on Amazon for under, I think it's under 10 bucks. So they're very, very inexpensive. And what happens is you can take your magazine game, your counters, drop them right in there, and they fit really, really well. Even better, they will take one of these flat storage trays here for the right game. Not all games will work this way. And you can put that in there, and it closes up, and you get the storage tray inside the game with the magazine all in one. So you go from a magazine where everything's flying all over the place to a perfect game box with the storage tray for counters inside it. So this is a no-brainer, but it's always a good stocking stuffer. Wargamers, I'd say 90% of wargamers will always appreciate these. Card sleeves. So many war games come with stacks of cards, and if you play the game a lot, some of the cards are just cardboard, they're not vinyl, especially the ones that you play a lot that have cardboard cards. Sleeving them will just increase the durability, keep the cards nice and clean, and make it so much easier for the game to last for a long time. So these are the Ultra Pro 3x4-inch ones. These are kind of an industry standard. I'll put a link to them down below. You can get them on Amazon. Also, one of the other places, the vendors we'll talk about in a moment, also carry these. But these are a great gift for just, I don't know what to get, and you can just get these and put them in a stocking, and your Wargamer friend will be happy. The next stocking stuffer is one that surprised me a lot. Dice. Yes, you'd think they wouldn't be useful, right? Because war games come with dice. But I found that a lot of war games come with big, cheap dice that just don't roll that well, and they just don't have good heft and weight to them. These are my favorite dice. Chessex 12mm dice. They're available on Amazon. They'll be on another vendor that we'll talk about in a moment too. They're super cheap. You get a 36 pack and it's very, very affordable. I've got 3 colors, black, white, and red, because sometimes games you need different colored dice. These are the default dice that I use with every game that I play right now. I tend to put away the big ones that come with the game, unless they're custom dice, and pull these out and use these. They fit really well in dice towers as well, which is another deal. They're nice, clean, clear, and legible. Be amazed how handy it is to have a big pile of dice that you can pull into the games that you're playing. A great stocking stuffer, small and affordable as well. Speaking of dice, another great stocking stuffer is a really nice dice tower. This is a portable one. It opens up like this. The dice go in here, they come out here, and you can see them perfectly. Now, when I started wargaming, I bought a dice tower and it didn't work. The first dice tower I got, the dice came flying out of the tray. Second dice tower, the same thing. Took me a lot of time before I found this one. It's got the right size walls, so the dice don't come up, and yet they're not so high that you have to kind of constantly peek over the edge. Shakes the dice up nice, and they never get stuck. These 12mm dice in this dice tower that we just saw works great. This is my default, by far the best dice tower that I've stumbled into over the course of the 3 or 4 years now that I've been back at Wargaming. Link to it is down below. Nice and compact too, so it makes for a great stocking stuffer. Another book that I've just came to know about a couple of weeks ago, World War II Wargaming Solitaire Toolkit. Again, you can fit this right inside the stocking. It's very affordable. It's under $20 as I'm making this now, making this video now. It's available on Amazon. Written by John Black, though. This is a very specific book, right? It's for World War II Wargaming Solitaire players. So this would be someone playing like Advanced Squad Leader, or playing Old School Tactical, or Lock and Load Tactical, and they want to take that game and make some modifications and some ideas for generating scenarios and playing it solitaire. Tons of ideas and tons of tips and tools on how to do this inside this book. It's a handy reference, very affordable, makes for great stocking stuffer if you are a wargamer that likes World War II tactical combat games. So I wanted to put another book in here, and I was thinking hard about which one might be a good one to include. I settled on Paper Time Machines by Maurice Suckling. Now this is a book, it's a little bit big, yeah, for a stocking stuffer. You'll have to curl it, or maybe it goes underneath. But it's a great book that talks, in the first half or so, it talks about the history of board wargaming, how they evolved, and all the different factors that played into the role of how the hobby became what it is today. And then the middle and the second half of the book talks a lot about why games are designed the way they are and how games are designed and built. It's a fantastic look inside the history of our hobby and how these games come to the tables that we play on right now. So it's a great read if you have a wargamer, or you are a wargamer who likes to read. I can recommend this one, Paper Time Machines by Maurice Suckling, another stocking stuffer for us. We've gone through a lot of specific items, but there's one more thing I want to mention before we wrap up this. If you're all the way here and you're still not sure what to get for some stocking stuffers, I might suggest some gift certificates to one of the premier wargame vendors in the world, which is Noble Knight Games. Now, Noble Knight Games, a caveat there, also a channel sponsor for the same reason as Cube for me. I love what they do. I've had great experiences with their service, and they provide wonderful services for the wargame community as they sell new and used wargames. And if you go to their site, they have gift certificates which you can get and put inside a stocking for someone as well. Chances are a significant other who is a wargamer in your life will know about Noble Knight Games and be extremely grateful for a gift certificate to the store. Links as well to all that are down below. And so there we have it, over 15 stocking stuffer ideas for board wargamers in your lives, or perhaps for yourself if you want to get a little something for yourself in this holiday season. Which were your favorite ones that you saw? I'd love to hear down in the comments below. Or do you have ones that I missed that you think other wargamers might appreciate? As always, thank you so much for watching. Have a happy and fantastic holiday season, everybody, and happy gaming.